Okay, today we're going to look at how we score more goals from wide areas, how we score more goals from crosses, and the root cause of not scoring a lot of goals from crosses comes from where we cross the ball from. So traditionally you'll see a lot of crosses that come from these wide areas, from the touchline, and we'll get the ball wide and we'll look to loft across into the box. And the statistics on goals converted from wide areas from this position here are 5%. Okay, so a 5% conversion rate, roughly, from a cross from a wide area. It's 5 conversions in 100 crosses. Okay, and if you wrap that up into how many, there's a very low likelihood that you're going to score a goal from one of these wide areas. Okay, so with that being said, where do we need to cross the ball from? And the answer to that lays in the half space here. So we've got a half space either side of the 6-yard box, and it's basically the box entry to the 6-yard line roughly is where the half spaces are. Now, if we was to cross a ball from this area here, the chances of conversion go up to 1 in 5, so 20% conversion rate from a cutback from these areas. Okay, so crosses from wide are 5%. So 5 conversions in 100 are our chances of scoring a goal go up remarkably by entering the half space area and then crossing the ball from here. So that's why you will see a lot of football now is we're looking to get entries into the half space area and cut back for a finish into this area, what we call the golden zone here. And there's a huge conversion percentages from this area with a one-touch finish. Most goals in the Premier League are scored in this area of the pitch here with a one-touch finish. Okay, and that's because we're now looking to get to the half spaces and cut the ball back from there into this area. Okay, so when we think about how do we score more goals from crosses, it quite simply comes down to the quality of the cross, obviously, but where are we crossing the ball from? So then we might want to ask ourselves, how do we enter these areas more? Because obviously these are harder parts of the pitch to get to. So getting a ball out wide and crossing a ball from this wide area is relatively simple. If you've got good possession, you can spray the ball out wide, one touch out your feet, and you can get the ball into the box. If the fullback's giving you any space at all, these half space areas are much harder to enter. So we need to think about how we get into these areas. Man runs. So a third man run would be quite simply, if we've got player 1 here who's passing the ball here to player 2, we would have a third man that runs into that space. Okay, so the ball travels to here, from player 1 to player 2. The third man runs into this space. The ball is played into this area around the back of the fullback, and then we've entered that zone. And then you're looking for the cutback back into the golden zone for a one-touch finish there. So third man runs are a huge part of how we enter the half space, and that unpredictability and that movement is really important. Another entry into the half space, I'm not going to be exhaustive here because this is a short video, but if we do get the ball in wide areas and we're in a 1v1 situation, what I like to tell players is get your feet in the box, push that player back, and get your feet into the box for the half space area here. And then you might get support that comes here to be able to get a cross in. Or if we do push our fullback back in the 1v1 situation, if you can't take them on and get past them, can we get a third man run past into that area to allow us then to cross from this position back into the half space? But always, if we have got a 1v1 situation out wide, get at the player, beat them, get into this half space area, and then get a cut back in. So we've looked at quite a few things there. We've looked at percentages of crosses from wide areas versus crosses from the half space. You've got a much higher chance of scoring a goal from the half space than you have out wide. So it's 5% chance out wide, 5 in 100 crosses. It's a 20% chance from the half space, so 1 in 5. And then entries, how do we get into that half space area? Because it's much harder to get into. Third man runs, movement off the ball, playing quickly. And then if we are in 1v1 situations, taking that player on and getting your feet into the box to be able to allow yourself to play into that half space area. In terms of how you train that, how you coach that, lots of third man movements in training, whether that's passing patterns or that's condition games where you encourage the third man run. And then in scoring areas, I'd encourage a one-touch finish as well, because that's where goals are scored. So you can only score with one touch within the scoring area. So hopefully that video helped. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Cheers, guys. Thank you.